So welcome back everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. Now for today, what can I say? We have again the incredible, amazing. She's back basically. The incredible, amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the super duper badass, Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing epic. What better way to have an epic Tuesday than to be chatting basically with you again? What has been like 2 years since? Back, yeah, like the last time we spoke, I was doing these things on Instagram. So
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm in a whole new world.
totally, yeah. But yeah, it's great to have you back here. It's amazing basically. And I do want to thank also those who are tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also on the description below, I'm gonna leave all of Alyssa's social media. Follow her, and also stay here to discover why I say she's super badass, basically, right? And without further more, let's jump in. So I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out, the first question, which is, since our last conversation, have there been any new developments or projects that you are either involved or you are like excited to talk about? Like, what's going on, basically?
Yeah, since we last talked, I did a movie that was in the theaters called Divorce Bait. I think it was last Christmas, super fun. I did a web series with a bunch of TikTok influencers in Costa Rica, which was super fun because I helped produce that and I starred in it. And right now I'm writing a movie with a friend of mine and we're looking to get that produced. Of course, the lead role is for me. So yeah, a
Totally.
lot going on.
It's incredible. It's awesome, right? Like whenever you get the chance to kind of stop a little bit and realize how much stuff you have done in the past 2 years now. I think you also get the chance to discover how fast things are, basically.
Yeah, even just knowing that I was going to talk with you again, I was thinking like what's gone on in the last couple years. And it's amazing because you look at what you've done and it just feels like really fulfilling to know that,
Thank you.
you're still doing your dream.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, back then, with the whole Instagram stuff, I did that. One of the reasons why I moved to Sumi was I was getting not very comfortable in doing Instagram lives. Plus, the audio quality was horrible. Like, no
Mm.
matter how hard I try, like to make it decent, it was really difficult to it. So then I was one day like, what if I just don't jump to Zoom instead? It's easy, it's comfortable, the quality it's much better, and it's easy. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do things on Zoom, and like the whole designs and everything. I had to redesign the whole thing because back then, I think it's part of the whole experience, right? That whenever you're starting out, you're in this huge learning curve of try and error, and I think that happens
Mhm.
to everyone who is like starting out or something, right? That you're gonna I wouldn't say failing, but you will be discovering things like, you know what, maybe I should switch to this instead of that, or do this instead of that, so
You've got to be willing to be a beginner because if you never are, you're never gonna, be good at what you want.
absolutely, which is tough, but at the same time it's epic. And yeah, so here we are after 583 episodes.
That's
Yeah,
my lucky number. So how perfect.
what can I ask right now? I love it. And tell me, like, how do you think your portrayal, yeah, like your whole portrayal of characters has evolved over the years?
Well, I feel like right now I'm doing a lot of content creation. Like I said, I'm writing a script, I produced a web series, and it's really switched over into this like spiritual comedy realm. When before I was always kind of like I want to say the sexy bad girl. It was just whatever I was cast on at that period of my life. And now I think as I evolve and change, the characters I'm playing change, and it's great to be able to create the kind of characters you want to play yourself.
Mm. So basically, you have been like more, I wouldn't say selective, but more, what's the word here that I'm looking? Um, that you're basically trying to that you're basically trying to get more roles that you are able to explore like a little bit more, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like more stuff that maybe even feels more like me.
Mm.
And the other thing is now I've been cast as some mom roles, which I don't know that that's fun, but
And speaking of that, like how do you approach creating a backstory for a character that doesn't have much detail in the script?
well, that's the fun part because sometimes you have so much detail that you have to imagine what that character is like, and you go in your head and you're like, okay, I pretend that I'm married to this person. But when you don't have a lot, it's really fun to make up a lot of different things. And what I do is if the character's acting in a way that I don't think I would, I have to ask myself, like, what would have to have happened to me that I would make these choices? And then that's how I get there.
And like, what has been like your most, yeah, like unusual method, let's say, that you use to prepare a character?
I really like to use music, especially for things that are either very high excitement happy, or when I need to be really sad about something, I'll listen to a song and have a memory related to that, and that helps me get more into that emotional depth of the character.
Okay. So for every character, you basically are depending. I mean, for every character you create, let's say like your own playlist to that.
Exactly. And it's also helpful sometimes when you're going over the lines or thinking about the character. If I'm walking my dog, listening to that music, I'm kind of getting in the energy of that character.
Mm. And like whenever you get, whenever you are, on your daily life and you are in this process of creating a character, has it ever happened to you that during that process, I don't know, you were doing something else and then you just like, I can use this for a character now, and you kind of like
Oh,
point it out, or
sometimes when I'm like actually having something happen in my life that's not that good, or I seem really upset, I'll get this thought of like, oh, this is going to be so good for acting. And it'll kind of break me out of the reality, and then I can pull from it later.
mm. And can that be like a little bit challenging, to kind of use, like, let's say that you use something that got you angry at that point, you got it back for playing this character, like is that like a little bit challenging to kind of relive in your mind at a specific moment that got you angry back then, or?
It depends. If it's something that I'm not angry about anymore, it'll be frustrating because I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And then it doesn't work. But if it's something that still affects me emotionally, it's actually like a gift. Like, it's sad. Like, I use a lot. Two of my dogs died last year.
Mm.
And as sad as that is, it's able to make me like either when I'm connecting to having a child, which I don't have a child in real life, or connecting to being sad, I'm able to use that memory for good in some ways because I don't think I'll ever be over it.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah, like whenever like a dog, I mean it happened to me also that whenever some time ago, but I do believe that when yeah, like when a dog or a cat or like whatever you have passed away, somehow a part of you goes with, goes away as well, which is, yeah, it's tough. So I mean
Yeah.
at this moment I live with four dogs. So it's epic and it's amazing, but having to think that at some point they'll be gone, it's tough. But I do think that that is like the cool thing, to realize that you got the chance to spend time with such beautiful animals like dogs, and to have fun, and to whenever they pass away, at least you have like the good memories. And as you mentioned, the fact that also you got the chance to use that for your career later on, I think that is also like a gift going on. So
Totally.
that's badass. Just saying.
Use everything for gift acting.
Use everything. Don't care. I love it. And if you could switch roles with any character you played, would like who would it be and why?
Ooh, ooh. That is such a good question. Ah, I feel like, okay, there was a character that I had that I played when I was younger, that she was a little bratty, but she lived adjacent to Beverly Hills and just her life was fun. She was, like I said, she was a little, maybe she had a bad attitude, but her
Mm,
life was really fun and she kind of got whatever she wanted.
okay, okay. I'll take it. I mean, who wouldn't like that?
Yeah, and living adjacent to Beverly Hills, like just down the street, that'd be amazing.
Now, of course, I mean, one time I flew in first class and I was like, this is it. And
Right.
I was like, this
You're
is
like,
I don't wanna get off this plane now. Please make sure that the plane delays the most they can. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not going back. Yeah, after first class, it's hard to go back. Totally.
Absolutely. But it's great. It's great that you got the chance like to and I think, right, that is also one of the cool things about acting that you get the chance to discover so many things, that from the real you, let's say, you can get the chance to be, I don't know, a spoiled brat, senator, president, police officer, fireman, athlete, I mean, superhero, you name it. And I think that is great also because you can get the chance to kind of discover new things, like new things about yourself. I mean, I would assume
Mhm.
that you get the chance to discover more about you, and also from those roles you play, that perhaps you can get the chance to use those things for new ones for the future.
Yeah. I actually had an audition. I didn't get the part last month, though. It was for a killer. And it was so fun just to, like you said, to like use all the things to be like, not that I actually ever want to kill anybody, but to think like, what would that be like to be this person? It was fascinating.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now that you mentioned like the whole, audition, what has been your funniest audition ever?
My funniest audition ever. Well, this actually, this movie that I was just in over Christmas, I was playing a dominatrix that you don't know is a dominatrix at first. You think she's just a girl at the pool party. I'd say that that was pretty funny. And actually, in the movie, it is really funny. So, but it was like, it's weird to like do that when you don't have, the props and you don't, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be this like crazy person. So that was pretty funny.
I like it. I love it. That is pretty cool. And like, what's the one unique item you always have in your dressing room or on set?
Crystals, and it
Crystals.
depends.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them on my desk too. I love that you asked that because it depends on the energy of the character.
Mm,
Like sometimes I'll even have them on auditions or like in definitely on set. Like sometimes I'll stick it in my bra or something. I have little ones, but they all have different energies and they make me feel like more connected to the essence of the character.
interesting. I didn't know that you have like crystals and everything. So
Yeah.
you were more into the whole like energy going on.
I definitely. I was into it before, but since we talked 2 years ago, I'm like way more into it. It's so much to the point that you were talking about using stuff later on in your life. I'll have be preparing for a part, and sometimes something that you're preparing will kind of manifest in your life because you're living in that energy so much. It's really weird.
Yeah. And I do believe that I mean there are so many things out there that our mind just can't comprehend,
Hmm.
and it's interesting because I mean I think we all have been there, that we walk into, I don't know, we walk into a place and suddenly something doesn't click to it. You feel
Hmm.
like the vibe to it, like the whole energy about it, it's just not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do think that, I mean, as I was saying before, that there's things that our mind just can't comprehend out there. I mean, I don't think we're just humans and that's it. You know what I mean? I do believe that there's
Hmm.
a lot of things out there that influence us, and yeah, that influence us into discover more about ourselves, or to, like, what I'm trying to see here is that it's interesting how amazing life can be telling you where to go or what things you should do if you just stay quiet and listen, or if you just pick the vibe to it. You know what I mean?
I love that. It's so true about because I feel like we have such a direction that we want our life to go, even in a career. You have such a like, I want this part, I want that part. And it's like really when you calm and listen to life, it is guiding you in a certain direction. But I do think that if you have a desire to do something, you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, definitely. You should definitely go for it and go for it and try it, which I do think that that is one of the problems that we're currently living in. That if you think about it, like how fast people live these days, you know what I mean? You just go outside and you will see traffic, people rushing, people walking, like
Yeah.
everything is like super quick. And the other day, a friend of mine was telling me like that if you don't pay attention on yourself and you just kind of focus on yourself, like the whole vibe to it can actually hurt you and can actually uh uh put an impact on you, because how crazy we sometimes live and we don't pay attention to our inner voice, or to the vibe to the place, or to whatever thing that is happening out there. I do think that we should be paying like more attention to yeah, to everything out there, basically. You never know. And it's interesting the fact that you get the chance on your case that you use kind of these crystals to, I would assume that to help you, but at the same time brings you get you comfortable, gets you like a
Yeah,
good vibe to it. At the end of the day, you want to make it as comfortable and perform with the best. Yeah, give your best, of course, but make sure that at least on set or like whatever you are, the vibe is positive. So
totally. You gotta, especially because there's so much going on when you're on set, and you really have to be focused on your work, and your energy can go in all sorts of ways if you are not like aware to keep it on what you're there to do.
totally, I would assume that is super challenging.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, and I would hope that someday I can get a chance to be on a set, so I can see what the fuss is about.
It's, oh my God, just to get a trailer, like that's the funnest part of it. The trailer and craft services, they have like the best food, hair and makeup. I mean, it's just, I say any day on set is the best day.
And
Even if
it
it's like kind of a boring, like not boring, but maybe like a commercial or something that you're
mm,
not as excited about, it's still the best day.
totally. A few actors have told me that when they walk on set, it's like Disneyland for it's like Disneyland. I'm like, you're
Yes.
kidding me? And they're like, yeah, it's like Disneyland. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, and you could be working like 12 hours. Sometimes you have to work really long days. And you're like weirdly energized because the energy of the set just keeps you going. It's great.
totally. So that is basically when you have like a good crew on it. So
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
love it.
that's very important too.
I love like the whole creative process that sometimes we who are not involved at all in the industry, sometimes we don't pay attention. I mean, at the end, we just see the final product. But once you get, I
Mhm.
mean, I love watching like behind the scenes videos and things like that. And you can tell that sometimes like the actual vibe to it was really fun. And you can tell once you see the final product and be like, I can totally get it why this is a masterpiece, let's say, because they put like so much attention into every detail because like the whole vibe to it, it was good, it was amazing. So
Yeah, totally.
I like it. And like reflecting on your career, what moment are you most proud of?
I am most proud of the moment that I moved to LA when I was 19 years old. And because I knew that I wanted to be an actress, I didn't know anyone. I wasn't in the union. I didn't have an agent. That to me is the most proud because that girl, even though it took me like a while to get like a real TV job or anything, like I'm so proud that I came here and I stayed here. That's another moment, like staying in the fire.
How
And then I
challenging
can
was sorry,
manifest good things.
like how challenging was for you like the first couple of months?
You know what? It didn't seem challenging. It just seemed so fun. I was so happy to be here. Like I was just, but I didn't really know what I was doing. So it wasn't like it was challenging, but it was just like I was running here, running there. And then I remember the hardest thing was I was on a veil, which is like right before you get it for like stupid, like a Burger King commercial, which is weird because I don't even eat meat. And I was staying up all night. I was sure I was gonna get it. And I was like, this is gonna change my life. I'm gonna make $100,000. And just the crushing, like being so close to getting something and then not getting it and never hearing back because sometimes they never call you. That was really hard.
Mm. And like how you deal like that side, the whole, let's say, rejection, like how you stay positive because, let's face it, nobody likes being rejected. So how you keep yourself positive when you got several rejections going on.
This business is a lot of rejection. It's just, and I don't want to say you get used to it, but what I found when I started realizing like maybe it's not necessarily me, and if I really love doing this, then every audition is still fun. And you have to like put the fun into the work you're doing and feel good about what you do because it could be you're the wrong type, or I also was on a veil for Desperate Housewives, which was my favorite show, and they cut the part. So it was like that was crushing, but it was like I couldn't do anything about it. So you just have to, I guess, remind yourself what you love about acting.
Mm, okay. And on your case, what you love most about acting.
I honestly think it's two things. It's the energy of being on set, just being on set, even when I'm doing nothing, there's just doing my hair and makeup. I feel like a star. And I love it's almost like a purging of emotions. I love the like using whatever's going on in my life
Mhm.
and like it's like a therapy session if you really do the work because when you're speaking the words and being in that emotion, you're like giving yourself therapy,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. You're like
Mm,
working through your own issues.
totally. Yeah, no, yeah, it does make sense because I mean, you just said it. You working on your own issues somehow, and I think also helps you the chance to kind of put away all of those troubles for a second, so you can focus on something else. Which I do think that that is a great thing to keep your mind busy. So I do get it. Why would you say that it's kind of therapy? Because you also get the chance to meet new people and to
Mhm.
share, share every now and then. And well, like once you discover how many people might have gone to the situation you are right now, you start to see things different. So
Yeah, I also think that that's what movies and music and TV do. They show us, they help people go through what they're going through because they show other people that they're not alone in their struggles or their joys or whatever it is.
yeah, totally. And that's what you discover how much we need entertainment basically because you
Hmm.
can get inspired, you can get related to something, it can help you to overcome a situation, And I think that is like back when COVID was around and the fact that there were no cinemas, no nothing, I think that was a breaking point for everyone to be like, we need entertainment. You know what I mean?
And
We
it
need it.
hasn't even caught back up yet. Because after that and then the
The
strikes, like
strike.
you notice it when you're like, I need to watch a good movie. And you're like, I've watched everything on Netflix. Like, I think during COVID, I watched everything.
Yeah, same here. I ended up watching TV shows that I watched before, like Breaking Bad, The Office, and I was like, I need something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And back when the strike happened, like, how tough was it for you?
Oh, well, it was hard because I don't think like COVID had happened, but then there was still a lot of stuff going with that. It was hard, but I'd been in a strike before. Actually, the very first writer's strike, I think it was like 2008. I got my first TV job because it was like after not SAG. So it was hard, but I was like, we've been here before. Just what else am I gonna do? Like, just stick it out. And I found other ways to be creative.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that was tough for sure. Like, but it's a good thing that happened.
Mhm.
I do think that that opened the door for people that may not be involved in the industry to know like a little bit to it. You know what I mean? And to
Mhm.
get and to realize that and to clear this misconception that a lot of people have that actors have checks of multiple thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? That why they're complaining when they are living like rock stars, having multiple houses and things like that. And when I started this platform and then I went forward and then the strike happened, some friends of mine will be asking me like, what do you think about it? And I'm like, not, I mean, not gonna lie, but out of the, I don't know, 500 people that I have talked to, which are actors, none of them are living, in this huge mansion, two yachts. Some of them, some of them,
Right.
they manage to live with acting, which is fine. Some of them had other side jobs because that's
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah.
So I do think that that was one of the things that helped clear. I mean, I hope that some people got clear about that at the end it's a job and yeah, it's a passion and everything, but they were treating them unfair. So
Oh, totally. Like we get residuals from TV and we're not getting any residual. Well, they've switched it in the strike. It's still not a lot, but we weren't getting any residuals of the shows that were on Netflix. So it's like these streaming platforms. Yeah. And it's like you would be used to getting a check every, I don't know, however often, but it did shed a bunch of light, I think, on the topic.
yeah, and also it was good that there were some A-list actors who joined the cause. I remember
Totally.
when I saw Bob Odenkirk, who plays Saul Goodman in Better Call Saul, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like the whole Breaking Bad, most of the Breaking Bad cast was also there, and like all of those guys, and that was pretty amazing because you can see at the end of the day, that it's a community, and I think that I
Mhm.
was that whenever that happens, it shows you how human we all
Ooh,
are, like it doesn't matter if
yeah.
you're like an A-list actor or whatever. You are a regular person like everybody else. So,
I love that.
yeah. And like moving forward like a little bit here, tell me like outside of acting, what hobbies or activities do you find, yeah, like, do you find amazing to inspire you on your craft?
Well, like I said, I'm like a spiritual girly. So I love yoga, meditation, crystals. And like I feel like creating content, it's not quite acting, but that inspires me because it also I've been writing more. Like I just anything creative is just feeds me. And
Yeah.
listening to music. I love listening. I would love to be a singer. I'm not, but I really appreciate the artisticness that goes into like lyrics and stuff like that.
Mm. If you okay, if you were a singer, what would be your name? Would you leave it? Would you put a? Would you change your name to something else? Like what would be your name here?
I think it would be like a one name thing. Like, I don't know. It would be my nickname, Allie. Allie, yeah, I don't know. It'd have to be like a rapper to have a cool name, I guess.
Okay, and what would be your genre? Like pop, rap? What would be like? What will be what will be your sound? Let's say.
I would be Nicki Minaj plus Taylor Swift. So
Okay.
like pop rap, I'd be like singing and then I'd come in with like some rap lyrics and then go back to the pop. That'd be
Mm,
fun.
okay. What is your top five, top 10 of, yeah, like your top 10 songs at this moment?
Top 10 songs. I can tell you top 10 artists.
Okay, let's go for artists.
Okay, let's go. Tupac, Not Going the Medicine for People, Stick Figure, Eminem, Kanye, Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Trevor Hall, 50 Cent, I Gotta Love 90s, and Boys to Men. There you go.
There you go. I like it. We got a Yeah, we had a huge base on rap and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I love rap. Rap is just so good.
You know, it's interesting. Back when I was a kid, I used to listen like a lot of rap, but well, because my tongue, my native tongue is Spanish, I didn't know much about the lyrics, to be honest. So I quite didn't understand. So it took me years to, once I was able to, like speak it, write it and everything. And then I was listening in my, like the songs that I heard back when I was a teenager or a kid. And once I understand the lyrics, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Or sometimes I will be like, why did I even like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like saying those lyrics, like not even knowing what you're saying.
Which is funny because yeah, like once you get older, you're like, I see, okay, this was.
Yeah, like when I feel like when I was a kid, we're listening to all these like sex songs and I'm like singing, like not knowing, and you listen now and you're like, oh my God, they played that on the radio.
I remember there was a party one time, and they put in the club, from 50 Cent, and I started to sing it, and somebody recorded it back when cell phones had like this horrible camera that took videos, but the
Uh-huh.
quality was horrible and the sound was horrible, and like a lot of people were like, yeah, like it, it was fun, and when I watch it, I was like, why did I even do that? I mean, I like the song, it's great, but why? You know.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's good. You got a good taste going on. I like it.
thank you. I think so.
Totally. Totally. And like what's the best piece of advice you can give to someone who is just starting out either in the acting industry or creating content, like what you're doing here, like all of the things that you're doing right now. What advice would you give to someone who is recently starting out?
I think you really need to give it your all. If you're just starting out, go to every audition, take a bunch of classes. If you're creating content, just start creating content. Don't worry about it being good yet because it's not going to be good until you've done enough. And we stop ourselves so much because we see where we're going to be in the future and we're not there yet. And then we become like depressed, like I'm never going to get there. But like the best thing for me was when I moved out here and I went on so many stupid auditions. I did so much stupid stuff that I could be like, that was obviously like going to some random audition where like I thought someone was going to kill me and I would send my mom the address because, but again, like because I kept going and failing, it's like failing forward.
Mm. And looking back at looking back at your journey, what's
Mhm.
one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self when you were starting out?
Well, I would say I would have created content earlier because, like, about 10 years ago, I was working with a couple groups of friends and we were making web series. And then because of egos, we stopped. And now looking at where the internet is, we had really good ideas. And I think I wouldn't let like difference of opinions and different people's personalities stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. So that's kind of something that I wish I'd kept
Mm.
doing.
So you would say like the like one of the main problems might be ego.
I think especially when you're dealing with actors and, "Hey, I'm an actor." Like, we're kind of egoic and, I think that when you get those personalities together, they don't always go well, but if you just
Mm.
stay focused on what the project is, I think you can make something beautiful.
Of the end goal, let's say.
The end goal, exactly.
Yeah, I'll see that. I mean, it's true. I mean, it's true that you need to focus on the end goal, not that actors are egotistic. I mean, no, you know what I'm trying to
Well,
say
we are, but
here. But it's fun. It's amazing because at the end of the day, as I was saying before, like whenever you can get the chance, like to speak with an actor, you realize that at the end of the day, just a regular person like everybody else. I remember I saw there was this comedian, Trevor Noah, that I mean, I might be butchering the words, but basically he was saying that it doesn't matter if you're the queen or whatever, we all take, we all go to take a shit the same way.
right.
Which is true because, so it's good the fact that you are able to pursue what makes you happy, and also the fact that you are, uh, I yeah, like showing that it is possible, and I do think that perhaps that is the way that we should be focusing a little bit more on A-list actors, A-list musicians, and all of that. That the fact that yes, they're creating cool stuff, but somehow they are showing us that hey, it is possible to do basically whatever you can, from being an actor to a supermodel musician. But of course, you need to put the work on it, which I do think that sometimes that is another misconception that we might not seeing it. You know what I mean? We sometimes will think
Totally.
that actors have everything easy going. So.
Yeah, you don't see all the behind the scenes that goes into like even just a scene on like a movie or a TV show, even if it's like an independent, just the amount of crew and then the hair and makeup and then how many times you rehearsed and like, yeah, I think people don't see a lot of times how much work really goes into this craft.
Hmm. I love it. And like my last question, so we can all enjoy and relax here. Check this out. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Take the journey.
Take the journey?
Take the journey.
I
I
like it.
feel like you don't like it. You probably have a better
No,
idea.
no, no, I do like it. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Take the journey, it's fine. It's good because we have talked about that, to go for it, to go in your own way, I think that was like the hidden message to this conversation. So I'll take it. Take the journey.
Okay.
That's badass. I love it. I mean, at the end, what can I say? The fact that you are keep pursuing it after this time, after all this time that you keep working, that you keep showing up, all of that. As I was saying, I mean, I do think that is impressive, but also it shows that hey, it's possible. I do think that is one of the things that we should be focusing on more to make things possible. Stop complaining and just enjoy life.
I love that. Absolutely.
So thank you so much for making this happen. I also want to thank those who stayed this whole episode. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, as I was saying, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, helps a lot. But also on the description below, you're gonna find all of Alyssa's social media. Now you discover why she's badass, so let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Alyssa. Also, I'm gonna leave in the description the 2 episodes she was, so you can check it and be like, okay, I kind of get it now. And once you're watching, follow her absolutely. And again, Alyssa, thank you so much for making this happen. Keep shining, keep rocking, keep being super badass as you always are. And I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks so much. Bye.
All right.